Welcome in, everyone. Welcome, Mr. Anderson. All right, so listen, we're going to be talking today about Black women's empowerment and how the space here online is ironically very male centered. And I wanted to just chop it up with you all about that and invite you to the group coaching that we're doing behind the scenes. That's ultimately where this is all leading. So I'm here to answer questions and talk about this subject. Right now, I'm just getting the broadcast ready for, I'm just getting the broadcast ready for broadcast, getting the caption signed in. Then I'm going to get the apples connected. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I'm your host, Tonya TKO. I wanted to talk about the Black women's empowerment space and how male centered it is, which is ironic. It's the darndest thing. And I've been trying to figure out what's been troubling me over the past few days. And then it finally dawned on me. And I was like, oh, okay. I get it. I get it now. I get it. And I'm like, we'll talk about that in 1 second. I want to be able to concentrate on what I'm talking about because this is a very sensitive subject. And so I want to make sure that, you know what, I should have taken notes, but I'm running out of time because we're starting our first coaching today. There was the text that just went out. The applause is extremely loud. Let me a little lower. Get a little lower there. Oh goodness. And then now as soon as I go live, I'm getting a delivery. Let me just put this right here. Oh, oh my goodness. All right. Whew. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Oh my goodness. I'm messing up, but that's cool. I like this music. Somebody told me they were afraid of the guy that breaks into hearts on that animation. You know what? Let me get geared up. For my apples. Hey! 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 That's wistful thinking. That's wistful thinking. That a super apple's gonna come in today. All right. So, whew. All right. So we're back and we need to get live on every platform because I want to talk about this topic here. So welcome in everybody who came in early. Welcome. We might as well just go on and get live right now. All right. We are live on Twitch. We're live on Twitter. We're live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn. And of course, you know, we are live on YouTube. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. I am your host, Tonya TKO. I'm a self-love specialist from TonyaTKO.com. I hope you learn how to love yourselves and one another. On this channel, we look at viral stories and we glean the self-love lessons for ourselves from there. And today's topic is a little bit different because today we're going to be discussing ourselves. We're going to be talking about the let me just calm down. I just had to run and get a delivery at my door. I got a kitchen top compost bin delivered because I got tired of just a makeshift one. I wanted an official one that has carbon in it to deodorize and all of that. But yeah, so I just had to run back from that. So I'm a little bit tired. And so let's talk. How many of you know what Black women's empowerment is? So there's this sector that has been created online where people come out to quote unquote empower Black women. But if it is going to be empowerment, what does that mean? I'm going to ask you all these questions. What does empowerment mean to you? I want to see what your point of view on that is. So here. Oh, I see text notifications caught in the house. Hey, y'all, and welcome to the people who are joining me today for coaching. It's starting. We're having 2 different coaching sessions today. Today is the intro session where, because people have asked for an additional week to be able to gather their funds together, so I've extended it a week. So this week, we're just going to kind of like get into the groove, and we're going to be beginning next week. So welcome and hello to everybody who is going to be there in the coaching group behind the scenes. We are getting started today with the intros. And if you've been thinking about changing your life, if you've been thinking about creating real change in your life, please consider coaching. If you appreciate my energy, my standpoint, my point of view, and you believe in my ability to be able to help you create the shifts that you need to behind the scenes and internally, consider signing up. The link is in the description. So KT says, I just know it from the YouTube spaces, but it's always about comparing ourselves to Black or wasting our energy on the type of Black men that aren't worth it. Okay, so empowerment means advocate for others. Okay, let's see. Hey, welcome in, Terry. You're late. True says, we rewound the music volume was either very low or there was a technical. Oh, is the music really low? Is that, are you all saying that the sound is just really low on that for you all? I need to know, because if it is, then that means that, here, let me try this. What is the, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's the volume for you all on this? Process by which women gain power and control over their own lives and acquire the ability to make strategic choices. All right, I like that. Is that really low for you all? Hey. Very low? Okay, let's see. What about now? How is it now? What about now? Hey, I turned it up a little. You have to let me know how it is now. The Black women empowerment space is full of women talking about men. Elle is saying there's no sound. Oh. Oh no, I just turned the music on now. So there's a little bit of a delay between when I do it and when you all hear it. So let me. So let me go to YouTube real quick. Let me go to YouTube. Oh no, I just turned the music on now. Hold on, let me. So there's a little bit of a delay between when I do it and when you all hear it. So let me. Oh, you're right. I don't hear nothing. That's weird. So let me go to YouTube real quick. Let me go to YouTube. Okay, something. I'm glad that you all told me that something is the matter. Something got pushed out of place. Which okay, so thank you for letting me know. I need to fix that because it's probably coming. The sound is probably coming in through the microphone, and it's not supposed to do it like that. It's supposed to go straight through the back end of the system, but something got disconnected from the back end. So I appreciate you all telling me that. Let me see if you all can hear videos. Let me play a video for you all real quick. This is very interesting. Let me see. All right.
And we are right back into the action today with the
Can you all
current
hear
third
this?
place flytrap, Brad's Giant, attempting a catch on a wasp. As you know, wasps are the one insect that can escape a flytrap, either by chewing their way out or simply using their sheer strength to squeeze through the trap before it has fully closed. And this is why wasps are a much more impressive catch compared to flies. Brad's Giant is really showing just how experienced he is at catching bugs, as he doesn't even give the wasp a chance to fight back.
Oh my,
With the time
that
of
was
1 minute
riveting.
and 4 seconds for today's catch,
That was riveting. That was riveting. That was riveting. Whew. That was riveting. But you all can hear that, and you can hear it fine. Okay, wonderful. It's just this one channel that's off then. So I need to fix that. Somebody said it was extra load. Extra load. Okay. Well, we'll fix that. We'll fix that. We'll fix it. We'll fix it. All right. Well, welcome, welcome. I wanted to make myself available to talk with you all about the Black women's empowerment space and talk about creating the changes that we need to in our own lives because I mean, all I know is that poor wasp, well, these wasps are carnivores, or they're carnivorous. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, let's get back to the subject of the video. All right. So, Black women's empowerment is a space that crept up on YouTube, Facebook, around the internet. And on these spaces, it's been dubbed Black women's empowerment. But I've been noticing a trend inside of the Black women's empowerment movement. And I've been noticing that most of the focus is on men. I was going to come out yesterday because people have been goading me. They've been goading me to talk about Roe and the brick face and all of that, Brickgate. And I'm like, look, you don't really want me to come back out and talk about that. You really don't. It's like, they're like, you need to apologize now. Where's the apology? You better keep that same energy. You this, you that. And going on and on and on. And I'm like, and I was getting ready to come out yesterday and talk about this whole Roe situation. But I'm like, people don't really want to hear what it is that I have to say about it because you know what standpoint I'm going to come at it from. I'm going to come at it from you looking at yourself and how you navigate in this world. Because at the end of the day, you have to walk out there in real life. You have to walk up and down the streets. You're not going to be followed around with a camera crew so that if there is a way that you can avoid conflict and confrontation, I am going to advise you to do things that way. I don't want you out there trying to be She-Hulk or She-Ra or I don't want you out there trying to be any of that. I want you to be the best version of yourself. And what is that going to entail? I showed you all the videos of that young lady instigating and escalating conflict, constantly positing as if she's the victim of something that she is perpetuating. That is what has been shown in her character. I didn't make that up. That's not a lie. These are based on a consortium of videos that were compiled from her socials that I put together for you all to see, right? A person who knows her in real life came out and did a 3-hour testimony on her character, the instigation, the lies, the manipulation, all of those things behind the scenes. I didn't say these things. This was something that was spoken about from a character witness of somebody who knew her or who knows her, right? And oh, I see Plainest Jane is in the house. Go ahead and throw up your pancakes, ladies. If you are a Plain Jane follower, I want to see who's in the building, right? So yes, so I was actually pretty stunned and disappointed by what exists in the field in the Black women's empowerment space, because when it comes time to talk about what it is that we can do differently, how we can craft and engineer our own lives, it seems as if the desire is to be about what other people are doing, what some other woman is doing, who is a mammy or a pick me, who is a super mammy, who is a super pick me. Okay, I never heard of a super pick me. Hey! All right. But the concentration is always on somebody else. What are the men doing? How do men behave? What is it that men got going up their sleeves? And yeah, relationships are important. Men are only one types of the relationships that we have. We have a lot of women who are talking about how they are happily single and child free, but every single one of their videos is exemplifying, highlighting, or discussing an XY. How many of you out there have ever seen a deep dive from a woman on what we as women can do better, but not for the male gaze, not for what men are seeing or for what men want? Who out there? Who out there besides me? I'm not, who out there, right? Who out there? Who out there is actually putting women to task to craft their lives in a better way? Who out there is saying, you know what? Let's eat healthier. Let's move. Let's get up and go on these movement breaks. Let's eat clean. Let's garden. Let's get some sunlight. Let's travel. Let's work on ourselves internally. Let's do the affirmations that's going to shift and change our lives. I would be much more interested in trying to figure out my own nature than a man's nature. How is figuring out a man's nature going to help you as a woman? How is figuring out why he doesn't want to take you out on a dinner date instead of a coffee date? How is that going to help you? How is it going to help you to understand why men cheat or don't cheat? Or what men think women should bring to the table or not bring to the table, or what a man wants from a woman. It's like, I feel like we have escalated the conversation from self-help books to self-help videos, but the focus is still on men. And when we try to bring the focus on ourselves, there seems to be pushback. When we start saying, you know what, because remember, listen, and I'm not talking from anything that I don't know or have not experienced when it comes to wanting you all to live healthier, more healthful lives. Listen, we were talking about this behind the scenes because, as you know, today we're starting up the coaching. Oh, you know what? Let me put this link here. So who is interested in coaching with me? If you're interested in coaching with me, throw your hand up, throw a hand emoji up, or do a shift 6, which is a little triangle going upwards. Throw 2 of those up if you're interested in coaching with me. I want to see who we have in the building. And KT is saying people want to listen to drama content. Okay. T says, I learned a long time ago to stop focusing on men and focus on me and what makes me happy. Absolutely. And the women are getting angrier and angrier, chasing the wind instead of getting to the root of the matter themselves. Ooh, that is controversial. So Crystal, Tupac. What in the world? T. Newman, Frugal Diva. Okay. Okay. Akima. Okay. All right. Angela. Alicia says that her channel doesn't get views. Are you talking about personal development? What is it that you're talking about? Audrey? Okay, okay. So this is what we're going to do. The Black Women Empowerment Space is full of women talking about men and how to attract one or why to stay away from them. It's really weird that we can't just focus on and be our best selves. Yes. It's like, how do you continue? How do you talk about how happy you are? Do you hear that applause or is it just me? How do you talk about how happy you are to be single, but you don't talk about the things that you have done internally to work on yourself to become happy with that singleness? It's like, I'm not going to be happy with singleness because I'm angry at men. I'm not going to be happy with singleness because I'm upset with what my father did or my mother did. And it's like, these things are real things that have happened to us, right? Why are people talking about super pick me and North the corns? Oh, Lord, have mercy. Here, I'm going to put this link here. That is the link to the sister circle. And we are getting started with introductions today. I'm opening up the registration for one more week. So oh wow, the applause is very low. I got to fix that channel. That channel is messed up. So I put the link in there. So somebody says the plainest Jane is preaching. Let me scroll up and see what she's saying. Oh, okay, that's the comment I read. Okay. 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 And QT says, I'm not angry with men. I really just don't feel like dealing with them like that. I'm opening up the phone lines. That's what I'm going to do right now. All right. So the phone lines are open. The number is right here across the screen, 323-488-3149. And the topic is Black Women's Empowerment. You can ask questions about the coaching program. You can ask anything that you need during this time. You can bring up whatever it is that you need to bring up because I'm going to be on here for, let's say, another hour or so. All right, so the applause is very low. I have to fix that channel. It's not going to be fixed during this broadcast because I need to get to the root of what happened and how the channel got disconnected in the first place. All right, 323-488-3149. I think you can be happily single and make other women aware of what to avoid at the same time. Okay, so when we start talking about manifesting our lives, focusing on what to avoid actually attracts more of that to our lives. When we start talking about these characteristics, you know what? I'm going to play something that I shared with you with the people inside of, we have a group behind the scenes, text notification squad. Let me play this for you all real quick. All right. There we go.
For something you don't want because you're focusing and meditating on a picture. When that picture is in the brain, it doesn't understand that I don't want this picture because its job is to just manifest the picture. Your thoughts manifest your reality. Recognize that science has revealed to us 60% or more of our thoughts are negative, redundant, and disempowering. Then 60% of your life, by definition, is not manifesting what you want.
So he's talking about worrying. Listen.
Worrying is praying for something you don't want. Because
think about that. What is worrying? What happens when you worry? What happens when you're thinking about something that you don't want to happen? You're envisioning it. You're seeing it play out. What are some of the things that happen when you worry? Some of you out there worried right now. What is happening to you, right? What is happening to you as you worry? What's going through your vision? What's going through your mind? What's going through your body as you're worrying? And it definitely is the law of attraction, because the subconscious mind does not have a sense of humor, but you're over here visualizing. That is exactly what you're doing when you're worrying. Talk to me. Talk to me. What happens when you worry? Phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. We can actually, somebody needed me to play that again. I'll play that again. I'll play that again for you all here.
Is praying for something you don't want because you're focusing and meditating on a picture. When that picture is in the brain, it doesn't understand that I don't want this picture, because its job is to just manifest the picture. Your thoughts manifest your reality. Recognize that science has revealed to us 60% or more of our thoughts are negative, redundant, and disempowering. Then 60% of your life, by definition, is not manifesting what you want.
All right, here.
Worrying is praying for something you don't want because you're focusing and meditating on a picture. When that picture is in the brain, it doesn't understand that I don't want this picture, because its job is to just manifest the picture. Your thoughts manifest your reality. Recognize that science has revealed to us 60% or more of our thoughts are negative, redundant, and disempowering. Then 60% of your life, by definition, is not manifesting what you want.
Exactly. Exactly. So, how does a person know whether or not they need coaching? Is there something that you want to do or accomplish? What is the difference between coaching and therapy? If you think about wanting to, let's say you want to go on a trip, right? Let's say you want to go on a trip. Therapy will help you take your luggage that you've been piling up all of your life, and it'll help you unpack and get down to the root of what's underneath there. What's the programming? What's the what do you call that? What is the, it's hard for me to think of the word. What's the word for I'm thinking of like a mole, you know, like a mole who burrows itself down deep underground. Therapy will help get in there and help you unpack your life and find what it is that started in the past, the diagnoses. That's what I wanted to say. The diagnoses, the disorders that you may have that are in the DSM-5. Figuring out what pathological behaviors you have, right? Coaching, on the other hand, helps you pack your suitcase. If there's some behaviors and some patterns that you want, coaching will help you put those things together. Like, let's say any number of things. Oh, there's a call coming in. Hold on. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Figuring out what pathological.
Hi.
Hi, Tonya. This is Shay.
Hey, Shay. How are you?
I'm doing well. I was calling in kind of in regards to the question that you were asking about just how can we support each other as women where it's not our empowerment is centered around men.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is just me and some of what I've been going through. I'm 31 years old, and I've decentralized men in general. So I focus more on myself, my well-being, my happiness, what fulfills me. I've found more hobbies. I've, just kind of live for the moment where only I'm living for me. And so I think friendship breaks are part of women empowerment, where I've noticed that I've had women that are male-centered, and I'm not saying, my friends that are married, my friends are in relationships, but it seems their entire existence is male drama that comes with men. Every life decision, every occurrence that's happening in their life, it pertains to men. I had to fight with myself to say, you know what? My friend is a great person, but right now, because their entire life is centered around men, I can't be that support system. I
Yeah.
don't hate you. I don't have any anger towards you, no malice, but I need for you to get on your own self loving journey. I need for you to develop hobbies. I need for you to develop interests. And then we can come back into the friendship and we can talk and we have other things that we can relate to other than me becoming your, I have a term that I call it called fliance, where your friends become your clients, where they feel like you have the mental strength, you have the therapist words of encouragement, you have the affirmation, you become their friend in counseling, where you're not really their friend to enjoy recreational things,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
their friend to support their poor life decisions, you're the friend to validate something, you're the friend that's just taking on their emotional baggage. You're
Yeah.
not really a friend to enjoy anything, you're free counseling to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think part of women empowerment is to learn how to say, okay, it's time to step away from this friendship and allow this woman to learn what self love is, what developing hobbies are, what decentralizing men is.
Yes. Got you. Got you. Got you. Got you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, Tanya. I love you.
Love you too. All right. Okay. So, the truth is in the pain. When you avoid the pain of the matter, you'll never heal. Face it, deal with it, and heal. Okay, Audrey. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Phone lines are open 323-488-3149. I want to, oh, you know what? While we're waiting for the next phone call, I will bring up the page for the Sister Circle. All right. So, how many of you? So, I saw a number of people who had their hand up that they were interested in coaching. So, what are the questions that you have that you'd like to ask me now that we're together? Um, Rash says, Tanya, you have impacted my life so much. I'm not Black, but your insight works for many people. Yeah, well, Rashida, yes, the insight is not just for Black people. The insight is for people. You know, my focus is on assisting Black women with weeding through a lot of the things that we go through in society that deteriorates our self-esteem and our self-love. However, you know, there are men who are assisted by my channel, young people who are assisted by my channel, people of all different races. However, I think that Black women have a unique place in society where I feel that if you can help uplift, if I can help uplift Black women, I can help uplift many other. I can help uplift society through the extension of Black women. If one of Sister Soldier books, she said people should pack their thoughts like groceries, heavier on the bottom, but we do it the other way with the heaviest on top. How does one take back their power? What does that look like? So it depends on how your power was lost in the first place. How was your power lost? How did your power how did your power leave you? What is there are many different reasons, and I think that's part of the reason that let me okay. I think that's part of the reason that I decided to do the group coaching so that we can touch base one on one. Because after we finish crying and moaning online about what other people are doing, when do we put the emphasis on ourselves and look internally to create shifts and changes on the inside of us? Right? And T. Newman says, are there tiers to the training? Call in and tell me and ask me what it is that you mean by that so that I can get a greater sense of what you're truly asking. Um, Miss T says a lot of times they don't listen to advice and you find yourself going on a roller coaster ride with them. Got to know how to protect yourself from others' toxic habits. Lucky says I pay $125 every week for therapy. It was desperately needed. L puts up the telephone number and says call in live 323-488-3149. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. And the number is also scrolling on the screen. So if you have questions or if you want some clarity, by all means, this is the time to call in. All right. So T Newman says, "Are there tiers?" I don't know what you mean by tiers. Also, for people who are wondering, we're going to be meeting every Sunday. There's business coaching. Well, there's business group coaching, which is happening between 3 and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then there is the personal coaching that is happening between 6 and 8 p.m. And so this is every week. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, Tonya. My name is Deatra. I'm calling from Connecticut, Rocky Hill, Connecticut.
Hey, Deatra. How are you doing? Welcome.
Thank you. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing on this rainy Sunday?
Um, I'm relaxing and enjoying some wine and a candle.
Oh,
And now
my,
you're live.
my. Okay. Well, Deatra, talk to us. What is the question this afternoon?
I was the one who inserted the questions of how does one take back their power and what does
Mm-hmm.
that look like, Dee Dee LaShawn.
Okay.
Um, Recently, I don't know, I just want to give a backstory. I was sexually assaulted in my sleep by a classmate some years ago, and throughout the years, he will reach out, well, he will send in friend requests and he will stop me in traffic or try to ride on my bumper, just kind of intimidating me. He denied whatever happened, sort of like, what you're doing. He's like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. So he never really owned what he did. And recently he got into my inbox and just said, you know, can you forgive me? Never addressing what he did, never saying he's sorry, just can you forgive me? And to move the story along, I reached out to my sisters and my mother and I told them, like, this guy's been harassing me because I was just it triggered me because I've never really told anyone but my mother. And when I told her, she said it was my fault at that time. She said, it's your fault. They all do that. And I couldn't react because I'm also like the black sheep of the family. So if I were to react somehow, it would have been my fault to react in a certain way. So I just hung up the phone. So in that message that I did send to my family, I did, let them know it's not my fault, where they all did say it wasn't my fault. What really stuck out for me was my older sister, who's also been like kind of like a bully in my life, putting me down and just saying a lot of nasty things. And she said, you're not a victim. You're not weak. Take back your power. And it caught me off guard because I'm like, I never said I was a victim, but it had me thinking, well, how does she see me? Because she has been one of the main people in my life who have kind of put me down quite a bit. And anytime I try to reach out and tell my mother, hey, you guys treat me this way, talk me this way, she doesn't really validate me. She just be like, you feel better now? So I I understand I have to take back my power, but I don't know what that looks like. I guess I do want to seek therapy, but I don't really have no one to speak with as far as in my family. And I just don't know what steps to take. As far as like the guy, I want to just bash him on Facebook and say, this guy did this to me. But I don't even know if that's even healthy. I'm kind of starting to react, I think, in a very haphazard way because I'm just fed up.
Okay. So, first of all, I give you a tremendous amount of kudos for having the bravery to come online and speak your truth out loud. So I commend you for that because that is not easy. So thank you for that.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for sharing your heart and your story. There's a few different things going on. And so what you're experiencing started a long time ago,
Yes.
from when you were a child, if you were raised in the household with your mother, and how she regarded you, and how you felt that your power was taken away the very first time. Was this the first time that you were SA'd?
No, that's I that you asked me this because I was 13 when I was sexually assaulted by like a family friend. Like he was um a family friend, and he was dating my sister at the time. I didn't know she's only 5 years older than me, so I was unaware of because he was like he was in his late 20s, so I wasn't aware of their relationship being the age I was. And I did try to tell her in a letter, like kind of hinting off, and I left it hanging around. Maybe somebody would find it, and I guess she went to him first, and he told her, "Oh, she's young. She just have a crush on me." So that got, you know, delayed for a year until everyone found out. When I finally told another relative, and I guess my mother blamed me for that too because I found out some things she went through. What was she
Mm-hmm.
was doing, having an affair, and me being young, I just like, "Oh, mama, I don't think that's right." And she's like, "No one said anything about you and so and so." And I'm 15 at the time, and I knew then like that's not really the right response. And for years, I would kind of put off my feelings and like maybe it's me. I need to stop being sensitive. Oh, I should just laugh things off. Okay, and as I got older, I realized like, oh gosh, none of that was healthy, and it has left me kind of feeling stuck. Like I can't really express, I can't share, and I really don't even know how to even feel about what happened to me as a 13-year-old.
Yeah, yeah. And so yes. So Deatra, there's a few different things going on. Number one, you have experienced a tremendous amount of trauma. Part of the reason that I ask you about whether or not you had been SA'd before that is because when our power is taken very early in our lives, it shows up in many different ways. It shows up as continued SA. It shows up as lack of boundaries. It shows up as not advocating for ourselves. It shows up as not having a voice. It shows up as really not knowing how to react or respond to people who are violating us, right? And so you were
Yes.
conditioned into this as a child. You were conditioned by your mother, and there are going to be people. So, first of all, you love your mother, correct?
I don't know. uh,
Well, there's a
truly.
if at the very least, if at the very least you are familiar with your mother's behavior. So what
Yes.
happens is because you were familiarized with your mother's behavior even as a child, what happens is when you see people out there in the streets who have similar behaviors, even if you don't like the behavior is familiar. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And this is how our patterns continue to perpetuate throughout our lives because we see behaviors. Part of the reason that I don't call women bitchs on my platform, that was a word that
Um.
was not used around my house. I wasn't called that by my parents. My father didn't call my mother that. I didn't hear my mother calling her friends that. It's very unfamiliar. I've had in my life about three friends, maybe more than that because I'm black. Maybe about seven friends in my whole life ever try to refer to me as a B. And when I've heard them, it just something just seizes up on the inside like a car engine with some coal oil. It just seizes up. It doesn't feel right. So that's something that there's no nostalgia about it. There's nothing that seems familiar. I have a family member. I have a family member that has some very toxic, she's very excitable, right? And if you try to
Yes.
confront her, she'll start screaming, right? She'll start screaming, talking about all different types of things from the past and all this other stuff, right? I was watching this show, this program where this guy was trying to get his girlfriend to take a lie detector test. And the girl in the lie detector test, she was like, oh, why do you want me to take this? Why do you want? And I chuckled to myself because this woman reminded me of my family member. So I'm chuckling like, huh, this reminds me of XYZ. And there was this little feeling on the inside of familiarity, the warmth of familiarity. And this is how we end up in toxic situations, that even when there's a behavior that's toxic out there, the warmth of familiarity makes this behavior seem familiar to us. And so we end up in these perpetual cycles. And so when it comes to you taking your power back, finding your voice, you're going to have to get down to the base of when your voice was first taken. You're going to need to speak with someone who is a mental health professional. If there were certain actions that you want to take in your life, like let's say you wanted to develop healthy friend groups, let's say you wanted to develop healthy ways of communicating, let's say you wanted to weed out certain behaviors, right? As a coach, I could help you do those things. However, if you need to understand why you're doing certain things, and how to heal from that trauma, you're going to need a therapist to help you with those things. Do you understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yes.
So I can help you find your voice. However, you're going to need to work with a therapist in tandem, because you're going to need to work with somebody who is going to be able to help you heal the pain of when your voice was taken in the first place. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. What other question did you have for me?
I don't have any right now.
Well, what are your thoughts
Thank
on
you,
what it is
Tonya.
that I've said then?
I mean, I truly relate to what you're saying. I do understand that. Well, I've been realizing that I lost my voice at a young age, but I never realized it happened at that point, because I kind of just normalized what happened to me, because there was no recourse. There was no counseling that followed afterwards. And then I was told it was my fault. So I just thought it was something I did. But the relationship that I had with my mother and my older sister, I couldn't understand how to combat that, because I would try to do everything to appease them and still find myself as kind of being like that target.
Okay.
So I do know I need
Yeah.
therapy, but I
So
just thought until I can. I'm
let me
sorry.
say, I need to say this to you. I hate to cut, I'm sorry for cutting you off. It was not your fault.
Thank you.
It was not your fault.
And I know that now, but I understand
So,
that now.
so this is the thing. Were there things that you could have done differently?
Of course.
Yes, there were things that you could have done differently. There are things that we can all do differently. However, you're not the one with the responsibility in that situation. For you to have done things differently, who would you have needed to be? For you to have done things differently, number one, you would have needed to have been a person with carnal knowledge. Number two, you would have needed to be a person with experience. Number three, you would have needed to be a person who had the ability to speak up in such a way. However, part of the reason that you were targeted is because you were not those things. People target the innocent, they target the weak. And what ends up happening is we spend a lot of time beating ourselves up about the things that we could have done differently without asking ourselves the question, who would you need to be for it to be different? As a 13-year-old girl, who would you have needed to be for that to be different?
A lot more wiser,
Right. Did
a
you
lot
have
more
that? Go.
informed,
Exactly.
a loving family where I know I can come tell this instantly. A lot of things that I realized could have been different.
Right. And the way that your life proceeded, right? Those were not things that were in place. And they weren't in place because that was not your life path. And it is not a 13-year-old's job to understand the sexual cravenness of grown men. Number one, his ass shouldn't have even been there in the house for an 18-year-old girl in the first damn place. Number two, with your
Yeah, I
mother
see that.
knowing what it
I
is
agree.
that your mother knew, he shouldn't have had free reign and access to the house. This is what I'm talking about with male centeredness. Why did he have free reign and access to the house to move about as he pleased when grown women understand the nature of men? And it is grown women's job to protect the young girls. And you were failed. Your mother
I
is
know.
saying it's your fault because she knows that there were things that she did and did not do that makes her culpable for what happened under her roof. And because she can't focus in on what she could have done differently, she put the blame on a child because of where it is that she is mentally, emotionally, and psychologically.
Right. I agree.
And it sounds like she still hasn't taken responsibility. And you know what?
No.
That's okay, because we cannot force other people to find their healing, but you know what we can do? We can find our own. And so now it is your responsibility to find the healing for yourself. Just saying I was injured is not enough. That's a clause. That's part of a sentence. What is the other part of the sentence?
I'm not sure.
I was injured. However what?
I don't know, Tanya.
You know, find your voice. It's here right now. You're on the line with me. I was injured. However,
I was injured, however.
I,
I guess I'm thinking there's a right or wrong answer. I'm
there's no
sorry.
right or wrong. And you know what? Try. Part of finding your voice is just like when you step out as a baby and you fall down. I'm here as the coach to guide you. There's no right or wrong answer. You can say anything. And if it can be shifted and tweaked, we'll shift it and tweak it together.
I was injured, but I still can be whole.
Okay. Yes. And so what we want to do is we want to shift that word but, and we want to shift it to and. I was injured and
And I am still whole.
yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Are you able to do the coaching program with us?
I'm not sure as far as like the pricing and if I'll be able to afford it.
Okay. 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 There's a link in the description of the video.
Okay.
It's $375 for 3 months. Well,
Okay.
each month for 3 months. Does that sound like something that you have within your capability?
Um, not really. I work part time and I'm a student.
Mm, mm. Yeah,
Um,
I want to figure out a way to make it more accessible for people. So listen, stay tuned. Send me a message on my website, and you have to get
mhm.
yourself some insurance so that you
Yeah,
can get yourself into therapy.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to build all that up again.
When you say you're trying to build it up again, what do you mean?
Well, right now I'm not working and I'm kind of displaced. I don't have a home.
You can
Um,
get Medicare.
and
You
I'm
don't need a home for Medicare. Medicare will have the letter sent to their office.
well, I've had Medicaid,
Oh, okay.
and in my city, the free resource that we have, they're always booked. Um, so it's hard to get in to see someone to speak with.
Listen. You said you're in Connecticut, right?
Yeah, I'm originally from Michigan, but I'm in Connecticut.
Okay.
I've been all over the place. I'm kind of just not really
So yeah,
stable right now.
so listen, and that's understandable. That's understandable. I mean, I was displaced in 2016, and I know what it can be like to, there's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And when your housing and your safety is not in order, everything else can be thrown off as a result of that,
Mhm.
right? And so first things first, right? You can create a way. I wonder, because we did an accountability party a few weeks ago, and so we got on there and we did the things that we have been putting off for quite some time. And so one of the things
Mhm.
that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to buckle down and get to the office so that you can get therapy. Because once you get therapy, a lot of other things will start to fall into place.
I've been realizing the last few years that I needed therapy, but I've not held a position where my insurance will cover it. But it's definitely on the plan. It's on my list once I can get back
Listen,
home and soon enough.
listen,
I'm sorry.
listen to what it is that I'm saying, right?
Okay.
When Obama went through that whole thing to make sure that we had Obamacare with the marketplace and that, right? Everybody has
Yes.
access to the marketplace. And in the marketplace, for, you can sign up for, you can sign up for I get Medicaid and Medicare confused. Medicare is the one for everybody of all
I
ages.
remember you saying that. I'm not. I thought Medicare was like maybe for more disabled people, elderly. I think the needs are different.
Okay. Well, so this is the thing, right? So Medicaid, Medicare, whichever is the one that's free for everyone of all ages, you have access to that
Medicaid is,
right
I think, for
now.
everyone.
Okay, you have
Yes.
access to that right now, and you have the ability to be able to you have the ability to get health insurance, which will cover your therapy. And you can get telehealth visits, which are paid for by your therapy, so that you don't have to go into an office, so you don't have to worry about them being booked.
Okay.
And this is something
Okay.
that you can do right now. You probably need somebody to hold your hand through the process. And that's part of the job of a coach. So, um, yeah, I'm gonna try to figure out a way to because there were only enough slots for 20 people in the coaching behind the scenes. And so I'm
Okay.
I'm gonna try to figure out a way to be able to assist more people. However, see, the thing is that I still need to keep the group small enough to be able to give individualized care in each one of the groups. Um, Somebody's saying that you need to go to the Medicaid office and get the process started. There will be people who will fill out the paperwork for you. You need an accountability partner. You need an accountability partner to hold your hand and get you to that office. We all need a helping hand sometimes.
I'll see what I can do about that. I do have my boyfriend.
Okay. Okay, good, good. Let your boyfriend know that you need to sign up for health insurance and have him make sure that you call tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for
The
calling
thing is,
in.
I'm only out of state, but okay. Thank you,
What do you
Tanya. I
mean you're only
appreciate you
out of
speaking
state? I
with
don't
me.
understand. But you said you're displaced, right?
Yeah, I live out of state. My residency, I'm not really within Michigan right now. I'm out of state with him.
When I was in California and I was living in my car, I was able to get health insurance. When I had this health insurance, I was able to see a therapist. I paid nothing. There's somebody that says there's no free healthcare in America. There's free healthcare in America. I paid nothing and I was able to be seen. They got me in on an emergency basis. They sent my documentation to their office because I was displaced. So I didn't have to have an address. I didn't have to have a driver's license for that state. I didn't have to have any of that. All I needed was to go to the office and let them know that I was in need. Go to the office and let them know that you were in need.
Okay.
and you say you have a boyfriend, let your boyfriend hold you accountable. Okay. Send me a message on my website. Okay. TonyaTKO.com. Click on contact. All right, my dear. We love you.
Okay. Will do. Love you, Tonya. Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right. I want to play some music for you all and get us moving. However, we are disconnected. I don't know what happened and why we are disconnected from the audio. But listen, and listen, there are people. So Kinsley says, I have Medicaid and get free therapy with it. This is what I'm saying. Absolutely. Sometimes listen, I understand what it's like to be overwhelmed. When I was overwhelmed, there were things I just could not do when I was living in my car. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi, this is Tracy from San Diego.
Hey, Tracy. Listen, you're going to have to stand up with me and you're going to have to move with me, okay? Because
I can do that.
we were supposed to take a movement break, but it doesn't seem like we got the time. So we're just going to move while we're on the line together, okay? Because we've all been sitting down for too long. So I want all of you to get up and move as well. So Tracy, talk to me. What are you calling to ask or say today?
Well, I actually was
Oh,
calling for
hold
a
on. The
different
thing
reason,
flew
but
out my ear. Oh, this is the down part of moving. My bad. Okay, my bad. Go ahead, Tracy. My bad. It's back in my ear now.
no problem. No, I was actually calling for another reason. I'll get to that in a second, but I wanted to address the last caller. I'm actually a licensed therapist, and I just wanted to give her and the audience some additional resources if finances are an issue when it comes to therapy. I'm glad you discussed, being able to use insurance because that is definitely a viable option for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of therapists will also work on a sliding scale too. So you can always ask. So also too, another really good resource is most universities that have a counseling or social work or a psychology program will have a clinic where they offer free or very reduced price services for the community. And the therapists are usually at the end of their program, so they're fully trained, but they're not fully licensed, but they're supervised by a therapist that is fully licensed. So that's a great resource. You can find that in any state. You just need to find a university that has that type of program.
What's the name of the program?
So it's any college, any master's or PhD program for counseling, for psychology or social work or something like that, where they do therapy. The universities usually have a clinic where they train their staff or their students, and they use people. They allow people from the community.
Like the barber, like the hair places, and you can go there and get students to cut your hair for the low. Oh my goodness!
Yes.
You know what's really funny? It's so interesting that you bring that up, because when I was displaced, I actually had a coach. I had a coach when I was displaced because I was working with a coach who was working on her certification. And that coach worked with me, and I was able to get tools that I needed that helped me get out of displacement when I was. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So yes.
Right. So they are fully trained. They're just not fully licensed. So, but they're still very good therapists that you can find and you can get services. So that's an option. I also wanted to add too. So the clip that you played at the beginning of the broadcast, or when I came on, I'm sorry, was Dr. Bruce Lipton, who if people are not familiar with his work, I highly recommend it. He's a cellular biologist, and he talks about expression of diseases because of trauma and things like that. So, even if you can't necessarily do therapy, there's still work that you can do, books that you can read. One that I highly recommend is The Body Keeps the Score. That's
I've
a great
heard that
book. Yes, that's a really great one about how, trauma impacts us physically and what you can do about it. There's a book that's called Getting Past Your Past, which talks about a very specific type of therapy. So even like I said, there's still work that you can do. I just also want to say just a couple more things too. I have learned too, through my own personal journey of self-growth and helping others,
Mm-hmm.
That, when your energy, I believe that everything is energy. And if a person or circumstances have already taken your energy, you don't want to give any more away. So that really is when we were talking about the original conversation about decentering men and things like that, or decentering anything or anybody who's
Mm-hmm.
taking away your sustenance, who's taking
Mm-hmm.
away your energy. It's really about shifting that focus back to yourself, because really what you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. And I
Mm.
understand why we are kind of like pulled toward being, paying attention to what's going on and all the hot topics and hot takes, because there's a balance between, yeah, I want to stay informed, but we also don't want to be inundated with that stuff, because what you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. So I'm encouraging everybody to shift their focus, shift their energy on uplifting themselves, uplifting their families, and getting it off of this toxicity. So that's all I wanted to add.
Yeah, thank you so much. And jump inside the comments and connect with. Are you on the text notification squad by any chance?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, because there's someone in the comments who wants to connect with you. You know what? I need to revamp my stuff behind the scenes. I want to figure out a way to be able to have group coaching that can help um more people. Uh, Let me think. There's somebody who wants your contact information in the comments. She says she's in California. She's looking for a therapist.
Okay. All right. I will search for her information on there too.
Okay, perfect, perfect. All right. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Okay. All right. So it's 2 o'clock right now, and we need to answer a few more questions. We need to see, the thing is you all can't hear the music. I want to get up and I want us to have a movement break. Well, I did a little bit of movement just now, but we really need to stay on top of making sure that we stay moving. When you're sitting there binge watching your shows, get up, give yourself a challenge, because this is your body. This is your life. Like, health is wealth. And oh, there was another thing I wanted to add, because I was just looking at the screen. Somebody inside of the text notification squad told me about a way to be able to rent free books with your library. In New York, the app is called EPUB, right? In California, it's called I'm sorry, it's called sorry. It's called Simply E in New York, right? In California, it's called put the name up for the put the names up for the ones for the live for the programs that people can get in different states. You can just type those in the comments area. But it's you get a catalog just like on Amazon or wherever, and you can get all of the books for free. So let me look this up and see. Body keeps the score. Body keeps the score. Search. And it is here. It is at the New York Public Library. I can get an ebook, and I can read it right now on my phone for free. Our tax dollars pay for this. So if you're displaced or you are having financial issues or whatnot, you don't have to buy books. You don't have to be out of sync or alignment. Trust and believe, because when I was in college and I went to the office after my mother died, and I was like, I wanted to work hard to stay in school. I went and I got myself food stamps, and inside the office were big Jewish families who were making money but were still coming into the system to get their food stamps. I'm not here to judge, but what I'm saying is that our tax dollars pay for these services. And every bit of taxes that you've ever paid in your life has already paid for you for whenever you have a financial hardship that you're facing. So, Deantra, go to the office and go get your services. Go get your books. Our tax dollars are paying for all of this. So do that. Do that. Chicago Public Library. Okay, so the Chicago Public Library. But you know what? You have to look and see what. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna Google. Let me see. I'm gonna Google. Rent. Let's see. Rent books free library. All right. So here. So if you type in rent books free library in your browser, it'll pull up because it pulled up Simply E for New York, right? Let me put up California because I was also able to do this in California when I was displaced because I needed the books. Here it is. Ebooks, California State, let's see, ebooks and audiobooks, LA County Library. Look, it's out there. Take advantage of being an American citizen and go and get your stuff. Go get your stuff. Go get your stuff. Go get your stuff. Somebody is saying she's right. I went through college using aid grants. I used grants and welfare for behavioral and physical health. It's there to be used. Then get off when you don't need it. Right. And then gladly pay your taxes when you're on the other side of it. It's as simple as that. So yes, so go get your ebooks, get your therapy, and create the shifts in your life. Create the shifts in your life. All right. So we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to put the music up. You all won't be able to hear it, but that is fine. That is fine. That is fine. It's just that we need to move. And then I'm going to open back up the phone lines and then we're going to go from there. All right. Oops. Press the wrong button. We'll be right back. All right. And we are back. We are back. Let's read the apples that have come in. Randall is saying trash. Well, yeah, if you see a bunch of trash built up around you, you should go take out the trash, boy. Go take out the garbage. Sunday. Supposed to be getting ready for trash pickup tomorrow. All right. So we have Z. What is it? Zizi Zoo that sends $1 and says test run. Keep up the great work. Soju Bean. Hey, Soju. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. And Carla sends $10 and says, love the Sister Circle artwork. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So let's open back up the phone lines and then let's go from there. All right. All right. So we have the phone lines are open. 323-488-3149. So we're talking about focusing on ourselves and being personal development centered, because after we finish, so listen, I think that all of the spaces are important. I think it's important to be able to vent and let that stuff out, especially if it's been built up for years. I think it's important to be able to understand the why do certain people move in certain ways so that you could have context. But when you've done all of that, what is left in the wake? How are you better for it? What tools do you have to make your life better? And that's part of the reason I decided to offer coaching. 323-488-3149. I decided that I'm just going to go ahead and block this person. Hey, so you're saying you didn't hear the block party music either? Is that what you all are saying? That the block party music is not, you didn't hear that? Well, yeah, so there we have that. Let me see what is going on. What happened? Let me open up my app real quick. But the phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. Kinsley, you did something that had your thighs burning. I feel you. I ran up and down the stairs myself. And so I'm back now. I'm back and I'm black. All right. Okay, perfect. Dee Dee says, thanks everyone for the support, advice, and information. I have used campus resources and the local library for years. Perfect. All right, 323-488-3149. I'm going to look and see what's going on with my thing. Why is it? Let me where's this? Oops. Oh my gosh. My fingers are not pressing the right buttons today. I'm bugging. This is where I'm supposed to be. Oh, wait. When I click on one of these, hold on. Okay, there. It takes me to this screen. And I'm able to output. Let's see, the output. Let me put the output on Vio 3. Let me put it on Vio 3. Okay. So let me see. Can you all hear this now? Do you hear this? Can you hear this music? If you can hear the music, put up some music symbols or just put some / / so I know. Remember back in the old chat room days when we used to have when we used to show that we were dancing by putting up the / and the backslashes? It used to be so much fun back in the days. Yeah. The Libby app in Akron, Ohio. Okay, perfect. So Ohio has the So you can't hear this? So Lauren is saying she can hear it and everybody else is saying no. Okay. I'm going to have to work on it off air. I'll probably have to go over to the other channel to fix that. Cuz I don't know why it's not. I don't know why it's not okay. All right. So you all are not able to hear that. Well, you know what? At least some of the sound channels are working. I just have to go in and then just figure this out again. Because the last time, because like every time they do an update, it kind of throws things out of whack. So that's what happens sometimes. But we'll get it fixed. We'll get it fixed. All right. So talk to me. Phone lines are open 323-488-3149. Delilah could not hear anything. Yeah, so if you all were hearing very faint music, it was probably just coming in from my microphone, picking it up from the speakers. So it's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be a good, decent size, but I'm not going to be able to work on that while we're on air. I got to fix it another time. So there's nobody who has any other questions that they wanted to present. Questions for me about coaching. Let me go to the screen. I made this page just so that there could be a page so that people could look up when they went to the page to figure out what the coaching was all about, etc. So here, I'll put this up for us, right? And so the group coaching is called Sister Circle. And it's going to run from September to December. And it says, let's head into the new year with a new you. And so we're going to be meeting on Sundays between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the business coaching. And then for the personal coaching, we're going to be meeting from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so basically, I'm looking for the right candidate for the coaching is somebody who knows that something is off on the inside and they want to get back into equilibrium, or they want to find a sense of equilibrium and forward motion. There are some people who have been thrown off kilter and they want to return to themselves. There are other people who feel that there is a them of the future that they want to step into, and they want to work on the things that they need to in order to step into that. Right? And somebody says, I guess it depends on what we're watching the broadcast or listening to it through. Really? I didn't realize that. So the people who could hear it, no, but there were some people who said that it was very faint. Nobody said that it was a decent sound. Like, so I'm sure some people are listening through headphones and other people listening through TV. One person said they switched from Xbox, PS5, and TV, and it was still low. So I just think I need to just work on it behind the scenes. So Isadora says, hey, Tonya, I'm in Portugal and want to call. How do I call? This program is right for me. Let me see if I can open up the WhatsApp. You have WhatsApp, Isadora? Let me see if I can open up the WhatsApp. Give me 1 second. I just have to scan this thing and get the party started. All right. Whew. Let me take this off of the screen. My bad, y'all. My bad. Mm-mm. I don't even know how to. WhatsApp is doesn't have access to your camera. Cancel settings. Here we go. Okay. How do I need to scan the thing. All right. No. That's share code. I want to scan the code. Does not have access to your camera. Settings. Enable access to camera. Give me just 1 second, you all. My bad, my bad, my bad. I tried to give it access to the camera. So let's see. Backup off. Done. Scan. Oh, now the thing is not even up on the screen anymore. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get the WhatsApp set up. Okay, link a device. What is this? Let's just call it PC save. All right, perfect. So now, if you're on WhatsApp, this is the telephone number 323-488-3149. So it's there across the screen. So you have the ability, you can send me a message, you can send me a message on WhatsApp, and then I'll call you back from there, because I don't think for some reason last time we tried to receive calls in, it didn't take calls in. So if you send a message, I'll be able to send a message back to you. Oh, all right. So where were we? I'm sorry, I had to just take that little segue. All right, so nonetheless, lesser than none. My mind is just working, just trying to figure out. And the thing is, if I create a way, because people said, oh, you know what, Tonya, I really need this coaching. I need to be in coaching with you. And so I found a way and cleared up my schedule to be able to do these coachings on Sunday. And so I need you all, that if you feel the calling to do it, that you step forward and that you come forward and you do it. So Think says, hi, Miss TKO. Nice to find your stream. As a melanated sister, I'm interested in your advice. So you're saying that this is the first time that you're coming to my stream and you're looking for advice. I ask people to be more discerning than that. Like, you don't even know what my philosophy is. This is your first time coming across my videos. How do you know the vessel through which this advice is coming? It's like, okay, you could be getting some very bad advice just because people share melanin. Look, look. Nonetheless. All right. So, Isadora, I'm waiting for you to send a message through 323 or +1 323 488 3149. So Sherry says there's something else going on. She needs a lot of help. Is there that big of a delay? Somebody says she's lying. What are we talking about? All right. Can you all hear the phone ringing? Yes. Hi, Isadora. Hello. Can anyone hear her?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Can you all hear Isadora?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so bon dia.
Good morning. Good morning.
Is it morning there or is it evening?
It's it's 8. It's 8 p.m.
Okay, wonderful. All right. So,
Yeah.
I hope they can hear you now. So, what were you saying?
I was saying that this program is right for me because like throughout the last week I was looking for life coaches like around here, but I couldn't click with any of them.
Mm.
So I got onto your stream and I saw that you were doing this. I was like, okay, this is the right one.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, welcome, welcome. What questions did you have?
Thank you. I was able to go into the website and see everything that it's needed. So far, I don't have any questions. I'm just like ready to do this to change because I need it. I really, really need it.
Oh, wonderful. We'll talk behind the scenes about it, but if you know that you need the change, and we're having
Mm-hmm.
our first informational session this evening. However, with the
Okay.
time zone, are you going to be able to meet at the time? Because we're because
Yeah,
okay.
because I have I can set up an alarm and I'm used to like waking up like around 2, 4, 5, like whatever I need to do this, I'll do it.
Okay. And this is something that you'll be able to commit to for 3 months?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so we're going to be meeting in a few hours. You see the time and you've converted it to your time zone because we're going to
Mm-hmm.
be I'm doing the business coaching in half an hour and then 3 hours from now will be the personal coaching. And so did you go ahead and put your payment through?
Not yet. I was waiting to like for a confirmation from you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah, do that now and then we will I will see you in about 3 hours.
That's great. Thank you.
All right, Isadora, it was great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right then. Well, wait, not meet me. You've seen my videos and you're familiar with me, right?
Yeah, yeah. I've been
Okay,
following
okay,
you like
okay.
for years. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so then I'll see you behind the scenes. If you have no questions and you are sure that this is for you, then I
Mm-hmm.
trust your instinct on that. And you said you're willing
Yes.
to invest the time and do the work and
Yeah.
go into this new year
Mm-hmm.
with a new you. So I'm ready.
Yes. Great.
All right then,
Great.
Isadora, see you in a few hours.
Thank you. Bye.
All right then, bye-bye. All right. So we have spots for 9 more people now at this point. All right. All right. So phone lines are open 323-488-3149. Um, there's someone from a 443 number that says, how much is the class? It is all together. You can pay one fee of $997 for the 3 months, or you can do $375 per month for 3 months. So it's really up to you. It's up to you. And whether you want to pay at one time and then not have to worry about payment anymore, or whether you want to pay each month in installments. So somebody said Mercury was in retrograde. Yeah, you know what? I looked at the thing and I saw that the channels for the online broadcast were not selected. And so I'm going to play a sound for you all, and I want you all to tell me when you hear the sound and when you don't hear the sound, okay? So, let's see. Okay, B1. Can you hear the sound? This is B1. Okay. This is B2. Can you hear the sound for B2? Okay, so that's B2. So I want you all to do your vote below so that I can see which one of those channels is the right channel, because I never knew before which one was the right channel. So you all have to tell me whether it's B1 or B2. Oh my goodness. So you have to tell me which one it is that you can hear it for. B1? Okay, perfect. So now I know which channel it is. So I had it unselected before, so my mind was in retrograde because I don't know what I was. All right, so nonetheless, so B2 no, B1 yes. Okay, perfect. All right, so phone lines are open 323-488-3149. If you have questions, now is the time for you to come forward and ask your questions, or let's see. Let me do the math real quick. All right. Nobody has any questions? Because if no one has any questions, hey Dipped, how are you? Where have you been? Welcome back. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. So, all right, perfect. I appreciate you all telling me that. Now I know that it is B1. So now I can turn off B2 because B1 is the channel. Thank you. Thank you all so very much. It had been months and I just did not know. But I remember because we were behind the scenes and I had called somebody who knew Rhoda, the brick face girl, and I didn't want her sound coming through on the speaker, so I turned it off. And I guess I never turned it back on. So yeah, so my bad on that. So it was me all along. It was me all along. All right, so listen, I'm open here for questions. What other questions do people have? I can pull back up the page because you know what? Cuz so this is the thing, right? This is the thing. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist, and I've been coaching. I've been here on the YouTube platform for 15 years. I basically grew up here on YouTube, and my message has been consistent over the years about finding your internal power, loving yourself, doing what is in the best interest of self love. One of the things that I've learned and learned quite recently is that there are people who come onto the platform and they flip the script with whichever way the money flows. And I have found that Black women are so disempowered and so parched for loving, kind words that we are falling prey to people who are using us, lying to us, and manipulating us in exchange for some kind words. And at the end of the day, how is your life any different? What changes have you implemented in your life to be able to become the woman that you feel a deep internal longing on the inside to become? It's all, listen, the phone call is coming in. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Tonya. My name is Aisha, and I'm calling from Glenwood.
Hey, Aisha from
Hey,
Glenwood. How are you?
fine. Well, I was
Welcome
calling
to
to
the
ask you,
line. Hmm.
I got a twin sister, and I think she's very toxic. They always say that her and my mama always go against me, and I feel that they wrong. Uh, and I just want to know, is it okay for me to just block them out of my life?
It's okay for you to block anyone out of your life if that's what you are choosing to do. At the end of the day, you're going to have to look and see what different people are bringing into your life and what exists in your life when they're not there. Because sometimes
Right.
the issue is us. What work are you doing on yourself internally? Have you had therapy?
I'm just started therapy.
Okay, wonderful. What does your therapist say about blocking the people out of your life?
We didn't get to that part yet.
when you say you just started therapy, how long ago did you start therapy?
Just a couple of days ago, last week.
Okay. 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 So this is the advice that I'm going to give you for therapy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your therapist is employed by you, and you are there to help work on yourself. Help your therapist by being completely honest, lay it out there on the table. When she asks questions, answer forthrightly, open yourself and allow the experience to give you what it is that you need. Okay?
Okay.
And besides your mother and your sister, what are your other relationships like?
I'm married and I have 5 grown children.
And what are the relationships like?
Uh, they okay. Well, I feel like stemming from my childhood, you know, I'm. I mean, we okay. I'm an okay mama, but I think I wasn't the best because I probably didn't get the best. But I'm doing the best I can. I
Okay.
ain't got no problems with it.
Well, it sounds like there may be some issues going on. There is
Mm-hmm.
you avoided answering the first time I asked you, and then you didn't really answer it the second time I asked. So I can imagine that there's some other things going on. So
What
make sure,
What was the question again?
what are your relationships like?
Oh, they loving. My children and my husband, my family life is loving.
Listen, I'm not here to judge you. You have to answer those questions for
Mm-hmm.
yourself. I asked you the question and I got an answer of loving the third time that I asked. Remember, like I said, when you're talking to your therapist, open up and be honest. Don't worry about what other people think of you. The truth is the truth. Let the truth out there, because the only way to really get help is to let the truth
Mm-hmm.
out there. Because you cannot get the help that you need if you're trying to look good in front of other people. I had to get rid of my last therapist because my last therapist had ideas about who she thought I was, and I couldn't be who I really am because of who she thought I was. And so I
Yeah.
had to switch her because I don't need to come in and put on any fronts. I need to be able to be raw and talk about some of the issues that I've had. And I don't need anybody else's opinion of me clouding that. So go in
Mm-hmm.
there and open up and be for real. You said that you didn't get the best mother and that you probably have some issues with how it is that your children were raised, and they probably have some issues with you. And so, if you can go into therapy and be honest and open yourself up, you're going to get what it is that you need. However, if you're going to be trying to save face and trying to be cute, just like when we have a housekeeper coming over, there's some people who go and they do their laundry and they clean up before the housekeeper comes.
Yeah.
Go put your laundry out there, okay? The therapist is there to
Thank
help
you,
you.
Tonya.
All right, my dear. Have a good one.
God bless.
All right. All right. So, there's a huge delay between the people on the phone and the people in the comments. I see people talking about, yeah, block they behind. And Akima says she's very soft spoken. That is your opinion. That is your opinion. You got to keep your opinion for yourself. Maybe you soft spoken, Akima, but so nonetheless, phone lines are open 323-488-3149. I'm probably going to stay on for about 10 more minutes and then I'll jump out of here. There was somebody who asked some questions about what we might be able to do behind the scenes. I'm trying to figure out, because the coaching sessions that I've set up are really big commitments that exist behind the scenes in terms of time. And so to induct another group, I would have to figure out how. Somebody said the caller wasn't feeling it. The caller was feeling it. The caller was feeling it. You're talking about yourself, Kay. You're projecting, Kay. You're projecting. All right, 323-488-3149. Phone lines are open. 323-488-3149. Now it did it as a phone number. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. I was just looking at the captions. Okay, so I know there's other people who have questions. Please be assertive. Ask now. Don't wait until I'm off of the line and then be like, oh, I wish that I had asked. KT saying she hanged up quickly. Listen, I'm only being truthful. You have to when it comes time to working on your internal self, you got to be honest. You got to help the people out. K and KT, you two are trolling me. You're trolling me. But listen, this is what I'm saying. You know, it's easy to look at other people and figure out what other people are doing wrong and could do differently. However, how easy is it for us to look at ourselves? How easy is it for us to say, you know what? I'm not perfect, just like nobody else is perfect. And even I realized quite recently that I have been looking for the perfect friend. I've been looking for the friend who's well adjusted and has their issues under control and all of this. And I'm beginning to realize now that we all have so many different issues that we are all in the state of healing our issues whenever we meet somebody, whenever we happen to have them come into our lives. You know, we are working on and they are working on their issues, and people are messy, friendships are messy. And so I am really coming to grips with the fact that a lot of us have not done the internal work, and this just is how it is. And I have to accept, or no, I don't have to accept people, but I have to understand where people are, understand where they are, and with no judgment, just continue to be where I am and continue to work on myself. And are you all working on yourselves? That's the question. That's the question. So 323-488-3149. We only have a few more minutes. So if there's anybody who has any questions or needs to call in, let me check the website to see if there's any any messages there on the website. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in a few minutes. This is going to be very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. See, there's somebody still talking about B1. Man, oh man. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Okay, so here, let me go into my email real quick. It's not about the right moment. It's about where people are in their lives. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Oh, wow. Okay, okay. So some people are sending me some messages. All right, I'm gonna go look at those in a moment. All right, so listen, I'm gonna be on for just, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna thank you all for coming out. I'm gonna close up the phone lines, and then I'll see you all. I'll see you all behind the scenes. I'm gonna be promoting the coaching group all week because there's some people who said that they needed to be able to sign up this week to start this coming week. And so today we're going to do the intros, and then all week I'm going to be promoting the coaching because I know that there are people out there who need it, and I want to be able to provide the resource, and I don't want people to be like, oh, I didn't even know that it was happening. So I'm letting you all know that it's happening. It's going to be happening every Sunday. And maybe I can try to figure out a way, are there people here? You know what? Listen, are there people here who are able to, you know what? No, it doesn't even make any sense to ask. I'll just let people, when it's time for me to announce it, I'll announce, and then we'll go from there. We'll go from there. All right. So listen, I will see you all in the next video. I'll see the coaching people behind the scenes. All right. So on that note, the phone lines are closed. And you all can let me know if you hear this music. All right. You all should be able to hear the music. Hey. All right. All right. So listen, what is your self-love lesson from today's video? My self-love lesson from today's video is about, you know, you know, things, my self-love lesson from today's video is about things not being what it is that we think that it could, that there are a many number of things that it could be, right? And so I'm going to be honest with you all. My self-love lesson in today's video is about rejection, right? I am the middle child, and so growing up as the middle child, I got rejected a lot. You know, I got rejected because I wasn't the youngest. I got rejected because I wasn't the oldest. I was just there stuck in the middle. Stuck in the middle. There's a song about being stuck in the middle, but nonetheless. So I got rejected a lot, and it used to hurt so much that I just used to just go ahead and just do my own thing. You know, I was a big sister and a little sister. So there were some things I would get in trouble for because I was the big sister. And then there's other things I would get in trouble for because I was the little sister. So I just found myself bouncing around a lot. And part of the reason that I don't do more, like to assist people, is because I have been having this internal fear of rejection, right? So like when people are like, "Oh, I don't want to take your coaching," right? I would feel rejected. When people would not whatever, I would feel rejected, and I would take that very personally. And today, in today's broadcast, because I've come out and have advertised this again, I realize that the people who don't want to take the coaching are not rejecting me. It's not, even if they were rejecting me, it's not really a rejection of me. I'm offering a service. And sometimes I be feeling stupid. Sometimes I be like, oh, I be like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, or whatnot, right? Oh, like, oh, you know, people don't believe in me, or so, I don't know, whatever. What I be just believing, or I be just saying, you know, your inner mind and negative self-talk. I have negative self-talk that I have to identify. And there's a tool and technique that I devised a few years ago to assist with negative self-talk. So most of my negative self-talk is gone, because I used to have voices that used to say some of the most terrible things to me. Like 10 years ago, I had voices that were saying all types of craziness to me. And I had to figure out a way to get those voices under control because they were rude. They were very rude and abusive, right? And so every once in a while, there'll be something that will dig into some of my core wounds. And those are some of the things that we're going to talk about: patterns, and we're going to talk about programming. We're going to talk about core wounds. We're going to talk about working around. We're going to have different activities to be able to assist us in shifting out of these trauma responses and shifting out of the wounded child experience that some of us have been having. And so, yeah, so those are the things we're going to be working on behind the scenes. So for me, my SLL from today's broadcast is really personal in terms of me realizing that advertising, look, people are so far behind, but Catherine was here in the beginning of the video, so she must have paused it and come back. But nonetheless, there's programming that I have that I see still needs to be worked on the inside, because my self-love lesson is about how marketing something that I know that certain people need, that is not embarrassing if there's some people who just aren't a good fit for it. And so that's how I feel, right? I have done the Myers-Briggs test. I am ENTP. ENTP? ENTP, that's me. Why do you ask? Do you know what your Myers-Briggs is, and what does that mean about you? And this is part of what today's broadcast is about, that there's so many of us that are focused on what other people's diagnosis is, what other people's pathologies are, what other people's programming is, how other people behave. However, the time must be invested in ourselves, right? Instead of trying to figure out my issues because of how I grew up, I am a unique human being. My life experiences are unique to the things that I've gone through. That's what I am borderline ENTP, ENTJ, and I've always been split between the last two at the end, right? And so ENTP, ENTJ, always down the middle and the last one, right? And so I am unique. And so my DNA, my programming, my life path, these are the things that has me interpret information the way I do, live the way I do, show up the way I do. And any person, every single one of you, if you had the same exact DNA, the same exact experiences and background, and the same exact programming, you would behave in the exact same way. The exact same way. And so go and focus in on yourself. Catherine, Google Myers-Briggs and look it up. It's a personality test that breaks things down into 16 different categories. And then there are other personality tests that break things down in other ways. So listen, I got to start getting ready for our 3:00 session. Coaching clients, I will see you all in about 8 minutes. So thank you all so much for coming out. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. Tonya TKO, and I'm out. Peace.